go down to the superintendent's report. Back about, might have been at the end of last year, the beginning of this year, at the end of last year, I want to say, we applied for QZAP monies. We did an application. That's Quality Zone Academy bond money. That is tax-free money. Got a letter back about 2 or 3 days ago, pretty much informing us that we will qualify for that money, and that's $2.5 million that we're looking at trying to do some modernization in our middle schools. So we will get the application approved sometime, hopefully within a week or so, and we'll start the process of filling out the application and gathering the necessary information that we will need. And once we go forward with that, we will update you on where we are with that.
You say we have the money, we got to submit a new application?
Well, the first step was submitting the application. The second step was them approving the fact that we are qualified and that we're in line to get the money. And when you get that second letter like we did, more than likely we're going to qualify for it and be able to get it.
You say earmarked for revitalization of building,
modernizing basically the middle schools. We're going to concentrate at the middle schools.
That's our choice.
That's our choice, because that's where we will put our academies next year at the middle schools. So we want to bring those up to snuff as much as we can.
While we're on that, this should get a different issue, but you know, the students had to register for their school at the central office. They want to go to school. How does that go?
Well, with any new thing that you start, you know, you're going to have some miscommunication, but it's going well. We had 96% or more parents getting their first choice, and what they've been doing over the.
96,
I think it was 96%. I think over the Dr. Presley, is that percentage right? What was that percentage? 96%.
That's good.
And over the course, you know, we're taking a waiting list for those parents who have not gotten their first choice. And if we find that we have room in those schools if they wanted to attend, then we're going to try to make those adjustments as we can. But we make no promises on that, but we will try to accommodate as many parents as we can. But it's going well. It's going well. Okay, you have your decimal report. We'll look at that. If you got any questions, I'll entertain those questions for you. Okay. Teach for America has made a request, and I can tell you this is one of the best things we can invest in trying to collaborate and have a joint effort with this group. They want to use the high school for 2 days to have a fair, recruitment fair, with new teachers and all, and we're going to benefit from this because Teach for American students have done a great job for us. And I think on June the 6th and 7th is when they will be here. We've already spoken with Ms. Brown at the high school, and Dr. Felder is really working with this group. She's going to present this tonight, but we're just asking for this body to approve this request from Teach for America.
This is a conference for all these.
It's not a conference, it's a recruiting venture. And this is one of the things that Dr. Bounds is pushing to the state superintendent.
Sound like a job fair.
So, yeah.
Sound like some job fair.
Well, so
when they're coming in.
Right.
I have no problem with it. Whatever we can do to recruit individuals in here to help our children, that's what we're about. So let's do it. Motion? That's a motion, sir. Second.
Okay. Mr. President, that's all I have. We have nothing for executive session.
Okay,
Turn it over to you.
before we bring the meeting to a close, just want to make a few brief comments. Mr. Harold, Mr. Dupree, and myself had the opportunity to go to the National Convention in San Diego about a week ago. And it was such an exciting and wonderful venture to see thousands and thousands of supporters of public education housed at a convention. The highlight of the convention was a real dramatic speech by the Secretary of Education, Mr. Duncan. Basically what he said is that in the future, those supporters of public education can look and will be asked to push for extended day, an extended week, and okay.
Let me, if I may, comment on the same conference. Several things regarding the conference. To piggyback what Mr. Shaw was saying, Mr. Duncan pointed out that for the first time in a long time, we have a true friend of education in the White House. And that more than $1 billion has been set aside to educate children. He pointed out that Martin Luther King visited a community in Chicago, a low-income community, and millions of dollars were pumped into that community, and 30-plus years later, the education system had not changed. So he went on to say that in spite of having money for education, you got to change the mindset of people. You got to set high goals, make people more accountable. And he also went far enough to say, for those critical areas like math and science, you may need to pay teachers more. And something that Captain said a few minutes ago, he said something that we've been talking about. For too long, school is out. Basically, our schools are closed, except maybe extended school program. He's saying that the school should be community. If it's not working, stop pouring money into it and find a way to make it work. Also, one of our speakers was Toni Morrison, some of you know her, and she talked about we are all in this together. She talked about growing up in the Depression era, and there was different groups in the school that she attended, handicapped, you name it, they were there. And she was saying that regardless to who you are, we need to deal with the situation that we're in. And that the bright students in the same class can help those students who are struggling. And by doing this, you don't handicap that child, those children. You really help them to be sensitive to people as they grow older in years. And that was a little boy. One other thing, there was a section regarding board-superintendent relations. If you want to have a successful school district, it is imperative that the board and the superintendent work together. And of course, we know that already. And it was a beautiful conference. And San Diego, if you haven't been there, it's a beautiful city. That's my second trip there. Thank you.
Can I end it with one statement? We have those of us that live in this community that always come up with innovative things, ways to do things, and it's here. We have those individuals that come up with those ideas that work. But too often, we have to go to other places for people to tell us this, for us to believe in it. We have everything here that we know it can work, and we can deal with developing those individuals.
That's it. Okay, okay, I know we just preached to the choir. Yeah, you know we preached to the choir because everything that we talked about, everything we heard, I know you guys are doing it anyway. certainly appreciate what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Other than that, it's looking good.
Do it better.
Particularly,
Okay.
anything else, but yeah.
So moved.
Second.
That's it. Thank you.